Hello, I'm back again with some more different subject matter. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. For all my returning subscribers and all my new subscribers, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. All the comments, all the donations. I love you guys very much. Just want to say thank you. I am open for personal readings if you guys need a reading. Information's in the description box, so you can go to wakingbadpsychicmedium.com until I revamp it. I'm actually revamping the whole YouTube thing, so yeah, other than that, I got some channel messages in here coming through, so it has to do with duality and black sheep, chosen ones, star seeds, whatever you want to call yourself. With duality of light and dark and how important it is to embody both things. Now, for instance, myself, I've had a pretty tumultuous upbringing and life, and all the darkness, and I wasn't the nicest of people until I had my spiritual awakening. And you could say I was for the streets, right? And I was all tore up. And with God's grace and Archangel Michael and my guides, I've completely revamped my life. But the duality thing is like, I'm seeing a lot of people out there, you might be Catholic or religious, and you consider yourself chosen or whatnot, and the importance of demonic and spiritual attacks. So what I got was like, a lot of you need to like even if you're into it, like it doesn't matter if you're spiritual or religious or whatever, but there needs to be emphasis on protecting yourself, and not only protecting yourself, but knowledge. Like, knowledge is power, right? So like, I'm hearing a lot of you guys are like scared of like reaching into the darkness and stuff like that, but how do you protect yourself from darkness if you don't know anything about it? You're gonna get fucked up, like straight up. And I mean, I've had witchcraft done on me, I've had, black magic, all that shit, death spells. It was a learning experience, but now I can just brush it off, my back like a duck. It's like pathetic at this point now. So a lot of you need to get into, like, I'm not saying get into magic, but just educate yourself about it, right? Because if you educate yourself about it, you know what's up. That's what I had to do. Now I'm not into like, and astrology too. I heard somebody needs to do some astrology. Somebody's like starting astrology. You could have black hair. You could have red hair. I see somebody's getting their nails done. Somebody's eating an orange, or strawberries, or some type of fruit. But yeah, let's dive into this reading. Because I see you're like at a tipping point, and Spirit wants to like push you off. Because you got the Page of Wands, like a new beginning. And this is a beautiful card. You might live in a hilly, mountainous area. Because I see winding roads. But I see you looking at your new beginning and kind of like apprehensive of doing whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe you want to be a chiropractor or a tarot reader, or start your own channel, or some type of like spiritual practice or something like that. And the time is not necessarily right now. The time is educate yourself a little bit more, is what I'm hearing. And if you're educated, just go for it. If you think you're educated, but everybody can learn more. No one's better than anybody. We're all equal. I'm very adamant on that. Some people like to put you into, I'm seeing people are trying to like test you and put you into like competition. Yeah. Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords rushes in, and he's deep in thought. He's got a lot of thoughts going through his head. But he is riding the white horse. See that? And I have a feeling there's somebody on a black horse trying to get at you. Could be energy, could be a family member, could be a lover. Some of you need to detach from a lover even though you've been with them, but it's going to take you time because you're just not willing to go, like, break up with this person, even though they're very toxic. But once you liberate yourself from these individuals, your whole life is going to shift. The whole paradigm is going to shift. Once you detach from people that only take, you're going to see a big relief in your whole life. And you say, oh, well, I live with this person, we'll move out. Yeah, there it is. Queen of Cups. This is in your recent past. This could deal with that, but a lot of emotions. When I see this with the devil at the bottom, this is like what you're sitting on. This is the knowledge that you need to be attaining about how the devil works, how it affects you. You know, like why you're depressed maybe. Some of you might be depressed. Or just going through like anxiety or an emotional state. And this is a direct result of you being tested in your knowledge. So rising up above this is like so much more important than you can think. Like, even if it's just a little bit. And cleansing, I'm hearing cleansing. Someone needs to cleanse your space. You need to start with the R. This is good though, we got the Fool in the future here. So if you take my advice, you're going to see a big shift in your reality. Whether it be educating yourself or getting rid of something toxic. There needs to be a detachment from things, a mental detachment. Look up detachment. Because your angels are looking over you, and you have people watching you, and they're kind of like, some of you might be ridiculed too for what you're saying, what you're doing. But people are watching you. Some people want to work with you, some people don't. You might be looking for people to work with, you might have that, or maybe you want some type of like, you maybe just want to be heard. Maybe you have a channel already, and you just want to be heard more. But you got to be very careful because I see whoever is around with this devil here, some people are going to be good, some people are going to be bad. And if you're foolish, you could really stunt your growth. In my personal experience, I did not ignore red flags with a certain relationship. This person ended up trying to demote me in my spirituality. I remember her saying like, "Oh, you're not connected," and I was like, "How the fuck would you know? You're not me. Like, shut the fuck up." I was like, "What the fuck? You're out of your mind. Like, how can you tell anybody they're not connected? You can't tell nobody what they're connected to or not. Like, you just can't. It's like an oxymoron. Moron being the main word here. But, you know, I've learned to let that go because it's just like, that's their own projection of the way they want you to feel. They want you to feel that because they're trying to bring you down. Darker energies will try to bring you down when you shine your light bright. If you're speaking the truth, oh my gosh. And a dark energy, they can't, you know, it's going to irritate their light. Your light's going to irritate them. So they're going to do like stupid things that you'll look back at. They might even hurt a lot in the future. If you're still connected with these people. If you're not, then you know what I'm talking about. But they'll do stupid things to try to dim your light. And you gotta rise above it. These are some good cards coming out. The world was right there. But Three of Swords. Great thing about the Three of Swords is even if this is like a short-lived thing. So whatever you're going through, maybe this anxiety, this devil moment, this you're just wanting to get over it. In your environment, the Wheel of Fortune is turning, and you're perceiving everything to be more like trying to manifest, right? But there's some knowledge that needs to be taken back. Some more knowledge that needs to be adhered to. See the outcome. Outcome. Four of Wands. Could be union. Could be a lot of different things. But we see you being happy in the future. Hold on one second. Anyways. So the duality of the Fool, you can be very foolish, but also carefree, right? Going for something positively, but being foolish is stupid. That's the negative part about it. Good part about this heartbreak, whatever you're focusing on, it's going to end quick. But there's like, you're transmuting energies that were once before you were very stuck on. So you're still attached to like this old being of yourself that needs to be shed. You know? It's like rising in the phoenix kind of thing. I don't see the death card I heard, but I'm getting that vibe. Like you're shedding your old skin, your old self. You could be going through an awakening. I see a few of you are going through awakening. I'm going through one myself. For me, I was realizing my own power. Some of you haven't realized the full depth of your power because of negative influences on your life. But this is the time to stop caring about other people. What people are saying, what people are doing. If you're watching, I'm hearing diet, too much scrolling on TikTok. TikTok. But the presence of this duality is you understanding your tools. I'm not saying use black magic on anybody. But if you need to, if you're getting spiritually attacked and you need to do cord cutting or something like that, most of you probably know this already, but there's some emphasis on knowledge. And knowledge is key here because if you're chosen, if you're a starseed, or if you believe you are, going more in depth with this is going to be weapons in your tool. It's going to be like your AK-47, you know? There's a big emphasis on a darker energy. I mean, look at the world. The world's all messed up right now. And if you can find balance in now, it's like nothing's going to be able to stop you from achieving this. And we see this because you're going for it. It's going to be hard to detach from some of these people in your life, some of these energies, because you're so accustomed to it. You feel like it's part of you, and it's just not true. It's falling off. You might be apprehensive because it's your comfort zone, but you need to get out of it because it's not helping you. Diet, exercise is a big thing. Drinking a lot of water, meditating. These are things that, like, if you're putting it off, like, it's going to be the detriment of your own being. Like, you're gonna slack. You're gonna lack. If you're focused on love will be coming in. If you're say you're single and you're still processing these things and you're focusing on love, that's not what you need to be focusing on. You need to be focusing on building yourself, because you have a lot more to offer the world than most people do. Whoever's watching this. If you have more to offer, write down in the comments, I have more to offer. I don't think you know how much more you can offer yourself. A lot of you have been giving your energy away, like, freely. And you need to know how to give it back to yourself. So self-love is going to be a big thing. And it's like, oh, well, how do I love myself? Well, it's easy. Start sticking up for yourself. Stop, building better boundaries. Even ones, if you think you have boundaries in place, really rethink the way you think. How could I do things differently? Because the duality of it is like, maybe I'm not doing everything right? I always question everything, like, I super analyze everything as a Scorpio. You could be a Capricorn or Gemini or Scorpio, or Earth sign. I lost my train of thought. But the duality of these things, it's like, when I overanalyze things, I have to look at both sides of the picture so I can make an educated decision. And if you don't have both sides, like both parts of the information, you're just going to stay stagnant. And I think we all want to grow. I mean, I got to shift from my higher ups to, like, shift my energy, and I ascended to this area where I was just like, I have to, for myself, look at all things and all possibilities. And I've always kind of been that way, but, like, gravitating towards the light because I was, I was kind of a shitbag. But I wasn't a shitbag, I was just very misled, right? I'm not a shitbag. I'm actually a nice person. And that was one of the reasons, like, even doing, like drinking or smoking or being around wrong people, it made me embody this person that I wasn't. And I really had to look hard at myself and be like, you know what? I am a good person. I am a person of light. Just because I have all these shitty situations around me doesn't mean I have to embody that energy, because that's what happens. They tried. These people around you are sent to you to stop you. They'll pretend like they love you. They'll lie straight to your face, some of them. Even when you're rising up and say you start a platform and things are going, people will comment stupid things, you'll have dumb stuff going on that's just, you don't need to care about it. It's just unnecessary. And once you shed that old part of yourself, you're just not going to care about it anymore. Those things that used to bother you, they won't matter at all. Like, they won't matter, like, no fucks given, like, straight up. Excuse my French. Somebody really needs to look into their ancestry, maybe ancestral altar. Oh, is that chocolate from home? Chocolate? I need to get them some stuff too. About that. Kind of really hopped up their altar, which is on the other side of me, but anyway. Getting back to the basics. So we need a better plan. If you're looking into, some of it, it's not even like, I'm hearing like social media management or something like that. So some of it's not even like like searching into grimoires or all that shit, you know? A lot of you are really battling your shadow, and some of these darker energies are just festering on it, just pushing you forward with your shadow. So it's a bit, like if you're smoking, like I'm having a hard time quitting smoking cigarettes, but I'm really down a lot lower. And when I stopped drinking and smoking weed, everything I was ingesting after that, after the purge and like after I fasted and water fasted and all that, everything I was putting in my body, like I can't even drink coffee. Like I love coffee, but like I drank a cup of coffee like the other day, and it was like just gave me, like my stomach was all messed up. I ate some Cheetos or something like that even today, this morning, and I was like, oh man, why did I do that? And what was it? No, it was Cheetos and a frozen pizza. Gross. I used to love that shit. So then right after that I had a salad, and I was like, okay, cool, it's like nourishment, it feels good. Some of you might be seeing a lot of signs, like I keep seeing outside when I go sit and look at the view in my house, there's this little tiny fucking lizard, little bitty lizard. And he always comes up. I'm like, man, you haven't gotten eaten yet? Like, but like, he always comes and visits me, and it's so cute. The cool thing is that you have everything, and I think that you might be waiting for some type of like break for growth, but you have to make this growth. And you might be really worried about it too. This gift is going to be given to you by your guides. You have everything it takes, but you need to make this shift because they want to give you this gift. But you're not allowing it to come in. You got to make space for it. And it's going to be to your own detriment if you don't make these changes. And I say that with sincerity because, like, when I didn't make changes and my guides were telling me to, shit got bad, like, for me. I got to the point where I was just, like, so depressed, and they were, like, the way God works is, like, people throw fucking demons at you to make sure you rise. And it's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. He gives you the opportunity. You know, you have free will. But if you don't follow suit, it's like, how can you be the best version of yourself if you're just sitting there dicking around in lower vibrational energy? And this might not be you, this might be somebody else. So having that duality and saying, okay, you know, like, they're not going to fucking change, and this is a bad person for me, or this is a bad food for me, or whatever it is that it's in your life that's holding you back, it's not going to allow this to come in, because this is where you want to go. You want to be free. And I noticed that too. It was like the more and more I started releasing things into my life, like I stopped drinking and I was smoking pot, and like once I stopped smoking pot, it was like boom, I felt free. Like my mind was clear, I was getting downloads better, like my whole being was just like feeling lighter and like more positive and like willing to do more things. I like cleaned up my whole fucking house, my whole room, everything. I cleaned everything. Started showering daily, like I wasn't showering every day. It was gross. And now that I'm doing these things, like having a regimen and having like a routine, it's like amazing. I have actually more time for things that I want to do. I can get more done, and I can still have relaxing time and fun time with my family. So it's like, yeah, a lot of you creatives. So there's a big emphasis on, and there's like some type of like spirit around you that's like sapping your creativity and your manifestation power. So don't tell people what you're doing. Don't tell people what you're doing, because you're gonna get let down. I see a lot of you like will go up to maybe your parents or a loved one. You'll be like, oh, look at this cool thing I made, blah, 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 blah. And they like, whoa, cool, and it lets you down. Like, don't put yourself in a position to let yourself down, because right now you're so fragile in the sense of not like you're not at that point where you just don't care about what people think. There's a lot of emphasis, and it's hard. You can't just turn it off. You know, you can't just turn off. Oh, I'm gonna stop caring about what people think about me. Like, I gotta care about what my family thinks about me and stuff like that. No, you don't. You really don't. You can give them love, you can give them unconditional love, and that's a replacement. Boom, death. There's a transformation. Bam, right on the bottom deck. This transformation is needed. I don't know why it's not focusing. It will eventually. Beep. Death, Scorpio card. Yes. And I'm not going to be like other tarot readers, like you already know what I'm talking about. This duality though, it's like you're flip-flopping. It's like the two of pentacles. And if you keep going back and forth, it's like, it's gonna make you feel crazy. You have to pick one side. You have to know both sides in order to pick one side though. So some of you might be like super into love and light and all that stuff. That's like, it's almost ignorant. Like even if you're only into darkness, you know, like it's the same thing, ignorance. If you want to be knowledgeable and you want to like help and like help people, you have to know the severity of the situation. You know, like how severe things can be and how good things can be. That way you have a gauge to like know where you want to go. And it's all about finding your path. You have to find where you fit in, what happens, like what works for you. Because God doesn't want you to overextend yourself. God doesn't want you to bust your ass 24 hours a day so you can pay your rent. He wants you to bust your ass, sit with your family, chill out, love, like be happy, not need chemicals, and have abundance. Like he wants to give you abundance. If you're worried about money, I don't think some of you might be worried about money. If you are, my condolences. But money's just paper, and maybe you're right now. Like when I was told, like I haven't been making a lot of money lately. But from what I was told, it was like you're good, right? Like you have a roof over your head. Like you're not going hungry. And a lot of it too is like we want to give you this abundance, but not until we're not going to give you any money to get drunk. You know, it's like we're not going to give you money. We're not going to let you do readings and give drunk readings to people and fucking. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And it's funny because the person I was talking about earlier was like, you could see on my YouTube, there's a big gap, like a year gap that I was dating this person. And we were using and doing things and everything was taken away from me. And I had to rebuild everything from scratch. And it was a lesson. And it was a great lesson. Like I really appreciated it because it not only showed me my worth, it showed me my strength. It showed me my abilities, my creativity. It was like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you picking low-hanging fruit, man? You're not supposed to be with that. And I was like, trying to beat myself up about it, right? Why I do this, blah, 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 I care about this person. No, I saw the fucking red flags. I went in there because my old self, right? So I was like, do you want to still keep being your old self or do you want to ascend to something that you never even thought you could ever be? And I think that's where the beauty comes from and all of it. Because you start to see the beauty in everything. Like, the things that used to make me happy before, getting high and watching a horror movie or something like that, that's just boo-boo now to me. Like, now I can just go out, I'm looking out the window right now and like, it just makes me happy to see the breeze and the trees and like, it sounds lame, I sound like a hippie, and it's like, that's my old self saying that, right? But it's really just beautiful. Or that little lizard, you know, it's like the happiness I get out of cleaning or working out or like doing things proactive for myself, educating myself and things like that. These are the things that are really going to push you forward. And a lot of you might be saying like, oh, I'm already doing that. But this guy doesn't take a break. You don't. The devil doesn't take a break. Bad lower vibrational energies is always going to try to suck you in. And even then, like, I remember I had a dream. It was like a weird fucking drug-using dream a while back. I haven't used drugs in a long time. But, like hard drugs. But I had this using dream and it was like so weird to me and it was like taunting. It was like, fuck. It's not like I wanted to use because I already made a decision with myself, but it was just like, this guy popping back up. And this guy will pop back up in many different forms. Even when I was going into what I thought, my old self thought that this would be a good idea, even though it looked good on the outside, kind of, I still saw the red flags. I still saw the truth in the situation. And that's what fucked me up, is because I didn't listen to my gut. I could have avoided that whole situation, but now I can read energies like, oh, I'll just, you know, if I feel bad energy from somebody, like now that I dealt with that person, like, that was like the cream of the crop of like sadistic psychopath like shit. So I was like, okay, Now I know I can recognize this, right? And you might have to do that. Maybe that's what you're going through right now. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And your liberation comes from choosing self over all. Choosing and putting God first. Or whatever it is that you believe in. As long as positivity, you know? Like I used to work with Takate a lot, and I still talk to her and work with her, but I get to correlate, I get to ask them both questions, Archangel Michael and her, so they can give me the pros and cons and all that shit. So it's really good. It's just like I'm connecting with, I'm a medium too, so it's like when I'm connecting with certain friends of mine that I've passed on, or I'll contact certain deities or spiritual mentors that have passed, and you get a lot of insight. And it's not being scared to go both ways, because they're not. If you know your strength, they're not, and you're in the path of righteousness, or I don't want to say righteousness, but in the path of goodness. Because I'm not religious. They're gonna recognize that. If you know that you're chosen, you can't get fucked with. But like, the devil can still fuck with your emotions, right? Like that's not awfulness. So you got to build that strength. Comment down below if you want to build that strength. And I think that's all we got, yeah? One more? The angel deck? All right. Things that are coming to fruition. There is things that are coming good for you. If you're working on yourself, a lot of this coming. Knight of Cups. Can't make it up. Well, focus. Ariel. Knight of Cups. You know what the Knight of Cups is all about? It's an offer of love coming through. So some of you have already been doing the work. I'm proud of you. If you're proud of yourself, put in the comments. I'm proud of myself. I'm ascending. Bam. 27:27 on the clock. I'm sorry, 27:17. Check that one out. I'm going to close out the reading with that. Thanks again for everybody that stopped by, shared a little time with me. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Anybody that's subscribed, thanks again. If you haven't hit the like or subscribe yet, please do so, and I'll send you a blessing. I'm also going to be doing free reads with I'm sending out an email, so I'll be promoting that in the next reads. But I set up an email to everybody that subscribes. Take a screenshot, send it to the email, and each month I'll pick out somebody for a free reading. Alrighty, y'all take it easy. Have a good day. Peace.